All right, so we're recording. So now we're live. So just be mindful of your background noise. Um, if you have a hot mic, I might just mute you, which I just did. So I'm very comfortable with, performing this kind of virtual session. So we'll get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Tour Talk Trophy and Award Ceremony to the season opener, Apple Valley Golf Course we had on April 17th and 18th. I'm Jacob Bridges, the director here, and I welcome everyone who has joined the show and those of you who are watching it on tape delay. So we'll get right into some of the highlights and talking points as to our event. This is just a simple review. Most of all the players should have received it. What is it doing? The screen just, we'll just stay here. I don't know why the screen is just going out of slideshow presentation. So here's just a review of it. So we had 95 players for the 2 days. Obviously we split it up anticipating that we, for the best chance of weather and also getting, the most out of the sunlight in the month of April. We had a total of, again, 95 players awarding entirely just over $5,000 in trophy and prize award. We did have a medalist, obviously every event does, scoring 69 300 par, which was our Nicklaus flight, Mr. J. Ruffner. And I put a little note in there that as you look at the leaderboard, one thing that I look at from seeing events to events, and this is the first tournament of the season, there was such a close concentration of scores in all the flights. I mean, we're talking so anywhere from a handful to high single digits of players who were within 3 or 4 strokes of the lead. So that's a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas. Only if I would have done something like different, I would have won. That is excellent. But it's also attributed to mutually both ways. You as a player, in the spirit and the integrity of the game, flighting and handicapping, right? And then putting all those players into the flight accordingly and having that competition. There was no one that was really, sometimes you get like a person that won by 6 strokes or, some lopsided victory. We had none of that, man. That's amazing to keep people connected to the following of these events. So overall, we had 8 flights competing. So we were going to award 8 champions. Pace of play was awesome. I think I had the slowest pace of play on day 2, only because I was trailing, but everyone else should have done it right around 4 hours. And I feel like during the round, you felt like you were waiting sometimes. So, but overall 4 hours is great. And that's what we all like to see. We're also going to kind of just do a little slide in the Capital City Champion Golf of the Year point standings. Obviously now we have an event, we have some points, so you can actually see how that looks and how it works. There is going to be a handicap revision on the 2nd of May. It's going to be conducted monthly. So basically, your tournament rounds, however they fall and land, that will be used as the indicator and primary for flight placement. So we had 60 reward members competing out of the 95 players, each of them earning $15 towards an end of year rebate, totaling $900. So I'll keep that going. And the reward members who earn that, you'll kind of see, event to event, how much, I'm tracking that you're going to receive at the end of the year. We also had if you kind of see the leaderboard out there, you'll probably notice that we had a low net contest. We had one for each day, awarding a gift card, which is a low net 80% of handicap, sponsored by Westerville Golf Center, who's a proud supporter of the tour. And how this contest works, if you're not really seeing the details, it's awarded to the person who has the lowest net score who did not place in their flight. Okay. So I'm not going to, double down someone who already won something. So I'm awarding it to the person with the lowest net score who probably needs, go to the driving range a little bit to just get that hump. And that's kind of how we can talk about it. And last but not least, you're going to hear me say this all the time: like, follow, share, recommend. The tour page that's out there on Facebook, talk about it. It's a win for everybody when you do that. All right. So we're going to get right into some talking here. I see we have the privilege of seeing a couple of our champions. And I'm going to go right at the top of the order here. I've already introduced him by, I guess, name appearing on the preview. This guy right here on day 1, first time on our tour, playing in what is now was one of our largest flights of 14 players, the Nicklaus flight, which are handicaps 3.9 and under. Our medalist, 3 3 under par, a round of 69, 1-stroke victory, Mr. Jay Ruffner. Jay, how you doing, man?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Good. I'm good.
So, talk to us and share, man, what your day was like. We're going to open up your scorecard here. Looks like you got an eagle on the par 5 6th, which, what was that score? What was that hole? Walk us through that sequence.
I hit a drive just dead up the middle. I mean, it's like, I would say mid-length par 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit a drive dead up the middle. I had 227 in and hit a 2-iron to like 5 feet below the hole, and it was pretty much a dead straight putt. It was about as uneventful an eagle as you can get.
Golly, I wish I could say that. And not the uneventful, straight in the hole eagle putt, but a 2-iron from 227. What?
Yeah. Well, it's like a 2-iron utility. So
okay. So it looks like you just came out of a birdie on that feature hole, the signature hole, par 3/5, right? So that was a good one. What was that shot? What were you? What were you landing when you're on your putt?
I actually was like, the pin was like back left, the
Mm-hmm.
Sunday pin location. It's like the hardest pin location on the green.
Yeah.
And I was probably pin high, but below the tier, probably about 35, 40 feet, and ran it in.
Okay.
I'm a member there, so
okay.
I pretty much I've hit that putt probably 1,000 times.
Okay.
So I just knew you had to get it started up above the hole, and it would funnel back in somewhere close.
All right. So I expanded some of the players that was in your flight, obviously finishing 1, 2, and 3 here. Were you playing with any of these guys, Nick Reardon or William Fuller?
I think Nick was in the group ahead of me, and William was behind me.
Okay, so in your group,
but I was watching the whole time.
So if you're watching, as I'm now gathering, you're kind of, I think we were all pacing Will Fuller, right? Because he jumped out to a 3 under start through 6, right?
Right.
You bogeyed 4, so you're like crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, once you turn going out, coming back in, you're right there, right? And you just kind of like, well, I know the back 9. All I got to get through is a shoot on 10, which maybe caused you some problems there. But then that tight little bunny dog leg right here on 11, you kind of got up and down there for a birdie. So you were looking good, man. So, well, listen, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
What we were discussing earlier, yes, you are a medalist, and one of the call it, I don't know, man, pick your poison if you want to say what great things about this tour that is available to all of us. But as we look at your leaderboard here, you have the option, the $275 prize includes an expense budgeted for $65 for the trophy. So what I was going to say was you have the option to elect whether you like to have a trophy and a Visa gift card, or the expense of that trophy added to the Visa. Which would you like to receive?
Oh, I want the trophy for sure.
You want the trophy for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I gotta be able to have something to show my daughter, and she'd be like, "Dad's the man," because normally I'm just dad.
Roger that. Well, listen, once again, congratulations. I'll give you the golfer's clap. Right?
Thank you.
Hell of a round, dude. Sounds like it was your home course, but nonetheless, it's never easy.
All right. That's right.
But before I let you go, is 3 under your lowest round, or one of your more lower rounds you've had on the course?
It's pretty low competition round. I haven't played competitive golf since college, so that's been 12 years. Not a single individual competitive round. So my lowest ever 65, but 69 will take every single day.
All right, man. It's a good cupcake right there. All right. Well, once again, congratulations. Stay on the line and congratulate your fellow champs. All right.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you. All right. So next we will go to, I see someone is currently at work. And it's the doc, right? So I don't know what his official medical title is, but when a guy is in some scrubs and he's wearing the face mask, I think we're going to kind of get him on here and then let him talk and go, right? So I'd like to welcome everybody here. This gentleman out of our player fight, feel like it's his 2nd season on the Capital City Amateur Tour. Had a great spotlight last year, kind of was graduated to Hogan, kind of was trying to find himself, how he fit in with that flight, but then his handicap ascended back to where it is today. And here he has really on the cusp of, I mean, beating out the largest flight that we've had on the 2-day event, 20 players. And again, that close concentration of scores. I mean, we had, if you want to say, 9 guys within 3 strokes of the lead, and coming down to the wire. I didn't think he was going to hold on, but he did. And he landed himself in a tiebreaker for first. And because of the way, you know, tee times were set up, we had Chad Warner on the opposite end of the day. So it went to a USGA tiebreaker system where the final 9 holes was used to decide that winner, with a 38-7 beating out a 38. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to our player flight champion, 78, 6 over par, Mr. Preston Harris.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to Chad, the first guys when joined the tour when it was the Golf Channel, and he kind of set the mood of what it was going to be like, how awesome it is, the camaraderie, you know, playing with everybody, and how awesome Jacob is at going and leading us. But it was a tough round. If you look at my scorecard, you see I was 5 over through first 4 holes, and but that's what golf is.
I think we lost him. Here he comes. He's back on now. You wish, there he is. Yeah, man, we just lost you, dude. You went through a bad spot. Hold on, I'll meet you. There you go, Press. There you go, man.
Okay.
All right,
I'm not going to talk too much, but yeah, it was a tough round.
Well, once again, congratulations. Seems like we're having some difficulty hearing you. You're kind of going in through some operating rooms or through the passageways of the hospital that you're in. So want to quickly just say congratulations to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Top prize here is an award of $315, again, including that $65 budget expense for the trophy. Preston, I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Harris, you had your father with you there today on the round, right?
Yeah, he was with us on the course. He's kind of like my caddy, my go-to guy that's got me into golfing. He's always been there since day one, so it's
That's
good to have
awesome,
him
man.
there to see.
I know
Yeah.
when I announced your name off the first tee, man. I'm a dad, but my kids aren't old enough to play yet. But I'm sure that that's a great moment to have your dad follow you, watch his kid play, regardless of the age. That has to be an amazing feeling. And then now for him to watch you win.
Definitely.
All things are awesome, but that's touching for me, and I recognize what that must mean for you and your dad. So congratulations again.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
What would be your option, Mr. Harris, on the trophy or Visa gift card?
Definitely going trophy for sure.
Definitely going trophy. All right, so we'll do the trophy here. All right, man. Well, listen, I know you might not be able to hang around, but if you do, you can watch this later and watch how we congratulate your other champs. So I'll give you a collect golfers clap, man. Congratulations on your round.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Jacob. Everything you do.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. So next, we're going to jump on over to a gentleman here. I see him moving around. I don't know. He might be playing around the golf right now, and it looks like he is. So we had a very exciting finish here as we were following one of the last few groups here on day 2. We had a gentleman here who was excited as can be, a kid in the candy store. I'm gonna say hi. A kid in the candy store playing tournament golf. Really probably shot one of his lowest rounds ever. I think that his highlight in his short golf life was I think 3rd place in an 8th grade tournament. I think he shared with me something like that. So to kind of play this organized event, validating, his game, and obviously the conditions were very favorable for everyone, and it seemed to be a liking to his game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to you our Hogan flight champion with a round of 2 over par, 74 2-stroke victory, Mr. John Wimmers. think you're on mute, buddy. You're on mute. I know you're excited, but you're on mute. There you go.
Sorry, I'm finishing up my my round for league, first night of golf league tonight. So I'm literally on the 9th hole. So it was fantastic. Jacob, I've talked about you all day long. So it was it was absolutely fantastic playing in it. I spent a lot of time growing up watching my dad play for the amateur tour. And this was my first time. I haven't played competitive golf since high school. So it's been it was a whirlwind of emotions going through it, and just the absolute stress of every single hole. And I'm actually out here with my dad right now. So he was the first person I called when I got done, because, he coached me on Friday and was like, hey, this is what you got to do, go through and make sure that, you're just focusing on this, and kind of just talking me through how to play in a tournament like this. And so I gave it all to him. And, then on top of that, I had an absolutely fantastic person that you partnered me up with, Tim Jameson. He was, tell you what, I couldn't have asked for a better pairing, because he made the whole entire round absolutely comfortable, talking me through stuff like, hey, this is what we normally do. This is, oh, you got to check out this place when we go here, and kind of talking me through like how it all runs. And when I wasn't hitting the ball, it really helped me to just focus on something else than the 10,000 things I was going through. So I had no idea that I would even come close, and you actually hit it right on the nail. I was telling my dad a little bit ago, this was my lowest round I've ever shot. And I say that with like no like actual PGA round, ball on the cup. Oh, sorry, I know it's super windy, so it's probably really loud, but we got like 17-mile-an-hour wind. But lowest round that I've ever had, where you just leave the ball there, you hit it. It was really nice for a first tournament to be able to lift clean in place. So that helped relieve some really sticky situations where I had clumps of mud all over it. So I was just, for once, I was able to put 17 holes together and play well. If anyone asks Tim, he can contest. I had a lot of single-digit putts on the back nine, because I had, I think, 5 straight holes where I had to save par. And I'm just holding on with a deep breath of relief, like, oh, okay, well, that's over. So it was a blast. I can't wait till Monday. Jacob, I did get the day approved, so I will be there Monday morning and ready to go, hopefully.
Well, that's awesome, man. I'm gonna start first with the last comment. One of the last comments you made, that you put together 17 holes. Well, that you joined the same crowd as Donnie Ostrander, who's also on the call. He's probably saying the same thing, but the results are different.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy up and down. What? Oh, sorry. It was weird, because the front nine, I'm going birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey. I'm like, man, this is a roller coaster of emotion. Hitting all my shots were going great. I'm actually going to sit you down. Sorry, I got a chip. So, all my shots were going great for chips here. You guys can do this. All my chips were going really well and getting me good opportunities. So every green I hit in regulation, I was able to get a birdie. Everything else was just trying to save par.
Way to keep up pace of play, man. Look at you. What a champ, dude.
I'm 17-mile-an-hour wind is not being helpful today. So, but yeah, it was a blast, and I can't wait to do more.
Well, listen, man, I'm a privileged to say that, I guess, hosting, tournament golf, it's bound to happen that we're going to come across stories like yours, but I can't say that I have. For a first-time guy to shoot his lowest round ever, I've just humbled that it's set up that way for that to occur. And not to, I'll also have someone else in your cart with you to encourage you, I think we've all been there where we've had a great riding partner, and the camaraderie, which is an undercurrent as to what's available on this tour. You're going to find yourself come across a lot of players like him that will get the best out of you and keep your head in the game. Maybe tell you if you ain't never played this course, hey man, you might want to avoid some stuff over here. And just stay with your game, and let you know that we're all rooting for you. We don't want nothing ever to bad happen to you, fall on hard times or dumb luck. But that's what golf is, and that's why we love it, and that's why we keep coming back. And these moments like this, man, you're never going to forget this. I won't either.
My dad asked me, the first thing he asked me today was, how tired were you when you got home? I'm like, I was so pumped up with adrenaline, I had a hard time going to bed. And I was trying to find people that I talked to about playing in terms like, hey, you'll find out what they go through my entire round. You probably don't care at all, but I was going to tell them anyways. So.
Well, it's a great story, dude. Once again, congratulations. So just like I've asked the champions before you, I think I already know your answer from yesterday. Your prize, total prize award is $245, again, including a $65 expense budgeted for the trophy. Your options, you get to choose. What would you like to choose, the trophy and Visa, or Visa only?
I would like my first win ever to be in a trophy.
I understand, man. All right. So I'll go ahead and mark that down here, and then I'll tally that up, and then I'll reach back out to our champions on who decides that trophy option. All right, man.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. So now we're going to jump back around. I see another champion that's here on the call. I wouldn't say unfortunately, but this is my flight, and I've never, I don't win all the time. I feel like any competitor that wins out of my flight, I find it to be a homer of stories because I'm looking at the leaderboard the whole entire time. Obviously, this gentleman here who actually, as you can see some scores, another field or another flight where there's a close concentration of scores. We had 9 guys. If I'm kind of going in here, 9 guys within 4 strokes of the lead. So once again, another flight where there's a bunch of woulda, coulda, shouldas. If only I would have done this and not that, would I be that guy winning? But this gentleman right here, man, his name wasn't Chris Baughman the whole entire day, because we were calling him every 4-letter word out of the book. Like, this guy was leading us when I say he jumped out to about an even par round through 8 or 7 holes. And but overall, it's every part of the game that I think each one of us has held a 9 or a side together where we can achieve an even par, and you kind of want to keep it going. But then I think he'll tell you, and he told me before, that reality started to sink in, and then you kind of start seeing the water swirling around the bowl, and you just hope you can just hang on, right? So again, first event on tour, Capital City. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce and welcome you to our Jones Flight champion with a 1-stroke victory, round of 83, Mr. Chris Baughman.
Thank you, Jacob. And I think you kind of said it perfectly. It was a tale of 2 nines. And I have my 2 partners to thank for that, because they started giving me some crap on the front 9 on the 9th hole, and it kind of got in my head a little bit, but I couldn't ask for better partners for my first round here at the Capital City with Kevin and Brian. But yeah, they made it easy, and yeah, tale of 2 nines, and by 1 shot, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and that's another compliment to what John said earlier. His riding partner that encouraged him through the round. I can vouch for the same 2 guys that you paired with, Kevin Keefe and Brian Hall. You don't see it here, but these 2 guys formerly was the 2018 and 2017 Jones Flight season champion. So you play with some very good guys, quality people, and who they know how to play and compete in these kind of tournaments. So you weren't among rookies, and I think that you kind of quickly probably figured that out as you kind of got into your day.
For sure, because I graduated at the same high school with Brian, so I knew Brian from back in the day. So that brought a comfort level there, and they brought that up, so it just made it at ease. Mm-hmm. And then I were back and forth with each other. Well, towards the back 9, so that kept my competitive spirit up, because I knew I had to hit a certain shot, and so that made it more fun.
Yeah, and so I think you had finished in the clubhouse midday, so you kind of really had to watch the leaderboard as some of the players were finishing up. What was that feeling like, watching the leaderboard, live scoring, and you're in the clubhouse posting that 83?
It was, I guess it's something you never have imagined, I guess, just because I've never been in that situation, especially with golf. This is my first real competitive tournament. And so I'm in the clubhouse with my girlfriend. She's going back and forth, looking at the score, smiling, and like giving me these looks. But then Brian and Ken were telling me to warm up because of possibility of a tie and, going an extra hole.
Mm-hmm.
So it was uneasy. So the free beer that you gave us really helped calm those nerves.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Just to hear you talk to that leaderboard watching the clubhouse, that reminds me of like what we watch on Sundays with the pros, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, golly, on TV, it looks like it's not that, you don't get that feeling. It doesn't seem like it's anxiety. Doesn't seem like it's a thing, but
right.
When you're in it, like, holy cow, can this time like speed up? Can we?
And that's something else that makes this tournament so special too, is how you have this set up to where we can have that feeling, to where we can sit and watch and see everything updated pretty much live and, just get that real PGA feeling. So that's another kudos to you with how this is all set up.
Man, you're giving me a buffet of more things on how to sell this tour. Whatever hits or whatever connects with someone that might watch this and are curious, maybe that would be it. But there's so much more, man. Pick your straw, really.
Right.
And the guys who were in the flight, who fell short, to include myself. I mean, I came in at 13 over 85, losing by 2. It makes me hungry. It just makes you hungry to just play it again, whether you won or lost. I mean, you just have that same feeling like you're not satisfied. I mean, heck, I think we could have shot a 78 and you were like, man, I could have done this. And, it's never ending.
Right.
So that chasing that feeling is the drive that's all in all of us. And the heartbeat that, again, I aim, if I'm directing, to have what you feel to be generalized to say probably an overall best experience in amateur tournament golf that you probably can have. And I aim for it, whatever level of elevator or floor I land on. Okay. But I think it's the best, and hopefully you agree.
I agree.
All right, man. So like before you, we've had some champions on the call, each to which I've asked what their options are as far as their trophy and award. You are walking away with a total prize of $275, which includes that $65 expense budgeted for trophy. Which would you elect to receive?
The trophy for sure.
Trophy for sure. All right, I will mark that down, add you to the list of others, and I will just again congratulate you, man. Look forward to hearing from me tomorrow about some vendor options and a valid address on file, so I can have that sent to you with. And if I didn't say this before to the others, personalized with your name on it.
Awesome.
Okay.
I appreciate it, Jacob.
Absolutely, man. Congratulations again.
Thanks.
All right. I think we have a K. Do we have any other winners on the line? I don't know who this is right here. KJ Doc. KJ Doc, are you with us? You able to unmute? There we go. Oh,
Hi, Jacob.
Hey, buddy. Hey, how you
Ken
doing?
Gross.
All right, man. You were under disguise. I wanted to make sure that I spoke to all our champions who were available to talk. So, how was your round over the weekend?
It was a great round.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun. It was a great course, great shape, and played with 2 great partners, Rick Gordon and Bob Kenyon.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, while I got you on the call here, I want to personally say thank you to what you provided me at the end of your round. I felt like that was the mementos of all those ball markers. I don't recognize all of them, but I felt like for you to gather all those up and share that with me, I really want to say thank you.
Well, when we get a chance some tournament day, I'll tell you how I came about all those. It's
All right,
an interesting story.
All right. And I won't have time to go grab where they are to share with everyone else what I'm talking about, but I'll certainly snap a photo and kind of do the same. All right. Well, thank you, Ken. And what I like to do now is take some time here. Looks like we got, well, let's get 7 minutes to flex a little bit, stretch out, and we can kind of, go a different direction and kind of aim towards now where I mentioned earlier, the point standings. So the capital city point system, if you guys aren't familiar with this, we do play for points on this tour. It's called the capital city point system. All right. Nothing different than the title of the tour. But so we have a series of events on the schedule, 12 total, and a few of them are worth a series of points more than others, and they're identified here. And regardless of the event you go to, if you go to point standings and you look on the point system, this will appear. Okay, so it's not just found in one spot, it's found in all 12 spots on every event page. So you kind of have some what's called local majors, right, which are worth 2 points. And our first local major on the tour will be our third event on the season. Okay, so it's at Westbrook. And again, all these majors you can find here, they're on a weekend date. So you don't have to take a day off from work, but you might have to take a day off out of the family. So I'm sorry, either way. I don't know, but so nonetheless, that's how the points work. And if you want to look at that on your own leisure, it kind of tells you at the bottom when it starts and when it ends. And, as we get closer to the end of the season, I'll start identifying what that prize fund looks like, because a part of every tournament entry, there is a portion separated for the end of year prize fund, awarding top 3 in each flight. Okay. So not only are we winning event point and prize and trophy, but there's a point and prize trophy, or sorry, prize and trophy at the end of the year. So right now we'll take a preview of the standings. And again, it's available on every event page that you go to. So again, it's available in 12 spots. Once you land here, I think Mr. Ruffner is still on the phone, still on the line here. You can kind of do the drop down menu and select your flight, and you'll see the points awarded and how many points you are behind. So Mr. J. Ruffner obviously winning the flight. If you saw the points schedule, you can see here it's 450 points, and he's leading his flight. Now you can kind of see a quick jump here, because if someone finished third and they were 225, right? If I know the point system by the back of my hand, third place was 225. Well, you remember we had combined the senior flight with the open flight Nicklaus. So even though Mr. Fuller competed in a combined point and trophy contest, the points he earned carry back to his home flight, which means he's leading his division or his flight for the Champion Golfer of the Year standings. And just like Mr. Kraus here, him and Mr. Kenyon, who was one of his playing partners yesterday or over the weekend, they were the only 2 competitors out of the Senior Jones flight that played in the combined contest because of low participants. But regardless of that, they competed point basis for the Champion Golfer of the Year standings. So again, this is a face value as to even when flights are combined, you still are competing separated with those competitors for the race to be crowned Champion Golfer of the Year. Mr. Baughman, is it Mr. Chris Baughman or Bowman? I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. I hope I'm not butchering it. But Chris Bowman.
Baughman.
Baughman. Okay. Chris Baughman, again here, he also won his flight over the weekend, landing him 450 points. And you can kind of see, it's the first of 12 events on the season. He has that early start. So nothing's won and nothing's lost by anybody here. And obviously that's why if you paid attention and you now start looking at the schedule again, you start aiming towards that point system, and when those values increase or double for those major tour events. You guys got any questions about that? And about how the points work more than how I just explained it? Excellent. Last year, I think we awarded just over $8,000 last year in trophy and prize for all the flights. I mean, obviously it's broken out by participation in each flight. If one flight has an average of 15 competitors a flight and another one has 5 competitors a flight per tournament, obviously the one that has the more participants, it's going to generate more of a value and prize. So it's a participant base through the year and it's just percentage for first, second, and third, 60% for first, 25 for second, and 15 for third. I think that's what the percentage breakout is for whatever's accumulated. All right, so we got 2 minutes remaining. We still are on record. So if you just joined our call, I see Mr. Kahari has. This session is being recorded. So Mr. Kahari, I'll kind of give you a moment here to kind of speak to your experience while we got a little bit of time since you're new to the call. What was your weekend like? You're on mute, sir.
Unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Good. Yeah, the weekend was fabulous. It was really a tight contest with players, which I really appreciated that. You know, I play a lot of golf, play everywhere, and oft times you encounter some curious situations. I mean, 3 strokes between 8th and 1st place. Man, that's competitive. A lot of folks had a chance to win. You know, aside from the rain, which was really weird, sunny and raining on and off, I had a great time. It was awesome.
So you jumped on the call late, but we complimented that several times. 6 flights of the 8, I think, had that same scenario where there was a handful, if not a high single-digit number of players within a close, concentrated number of woulda, coulda, shouldas, and if only something else happened, I would have won. So great compliment there, man. But listen, I really do have to cut you short. I just want to give my closing remarks to say thank you, everyone, for competing on the Capital City Amateur, the season opener event. Join us next. We will be playing at Medallion Golf Club on Monday, April 26th. Looks like we have the full field. So my name is Jacob Bridges. On behalf of all of the players on the Capital City Amateur, we will see you on the course. Take care. Yeah.